Well, this is a picture of the Federal Reserve Chairman's assistant in the state of Texas. And just to give you a little inner workings of what goes on behind the scenes in the bankster Illuminati. But I want to tell you also that the guy in Texas that runs the Federal Reserve in Texas, the chairman over there, he's not stupid. You know what he's got? He's got agricultural farmland. That's where he's investing in, along with his assistant here, of course. And gold, silver, precious metals, too. And unlike Bernanke, would you believe what Bernanke's actually mainly invested into? Annuities. So he's got a big problem if everything goes down and those annuities kind of blow up, because the insurance companies go under. But who knows? But again, this is the Federal Reserve Chairman's, the Texas Federal Reserve Chairman's assistant. He has her ride around on the desk a few times on a tricycle, and it helps him think while he dictates to her. So, anyway, that's what goes on in Texas, and it's a pretty wild state, so it'll probably be independent and whatever. But I just want to point out today the metals are going back up again, and palladium took a major jump, right? This is where I actually get a little more nervous about it because palladium did take a pretty good jump. Fundamentally, it's got a hell of a lot more to go. Could it have a pullback? Maybe, maybe not. That's one of those damn things, right now, I'd be getting a little more fearful of getting into it, but, if you get into palladium, like I've been telling you people, just figure it being a long-term hold. Buy the physical stuff, figure it be a long-term hold. It's been jumping up pretty damn good recently, but fundamentally it should be a lot higher, and the Dow is up over 14,000, right? 14,000 on the Dow, man. Amazing. And platinum is worth more than gold. So here you see the ratio. It's worth about 1% more than gold. So, hey, things are flying up. Now, I just want to look at the palladium chart here real quick. This. And you can see it hasn't been this high since 2011. Actually, back in August of 2011, it was 850. August of 2011. Actually, what it did was like a double top. It peaked out, I think, in February of 2011. I think it was 860, 870 for one day. And then it got up to about 850 in August, like when they were having problems with the debt ceiling and the debt got downgraded. So like palladium can go up too, along with gold and silver and platinum, just due to a debt downgrade. All this stuff is kind of move up together. If palladium crashes hard, silver's going to crash hard. I mean, they're not that disconnected from each other, but they're not really linked either. Generally speaking, they're roughly about the same. Industrial precious metals are going to run approximately the same. So palladium's been cooking. Actually, if you got it back here below 600, or say you got it down here around in this range, and it went up and it crashed, and you were pissed off because, I should have sold it. If you just held on, it's going to go up. See, it might crash again, get down below 700 and go up, but then again, maybe not. I don't know. There's some things coming up that makes me think I'd be scared to sell the stuff. I just hold. And I'm not going to, never sell it, but I think it isn't high enough yet. I don't think it's high enough yet. Now, if palladium got over 800, then I'd be probably dumping electronic stuff. But the physical stuff, I'm going to hold on for some years. I think the stuff should be $10,000 an ounce, to tell you the truth. So, just want to point out some things also today. Why did everything go up so much? The Dow, all the metals and everything. The U.S. economy actually didn't expect this. The U.S. economy added 157,000 jobs in January 2013, this month. But the unemployment rate rose to 7.9%. It kind of went up just a hair. That's pretty much staying right around ballpark. These are according to the U.S. Labor Department. So they didn't expect to add that many jobs. Now, also, this is what moves markets, the information, the data that comes out. But I also have to say this, of course, when your jobs are going up, the palladium's industrial, so it goes up and that type of stuff. But I also have to say this, jobs are, it's probably data that they're looking for. In other words, it's an answer they want. That's another thing. Considering that the Department of Labor is part of the government and the administration has a major influence over a lot of things, I don't know about all these numbers, man. Sometimes I wonder. Because one thing I was pointing out before, old girl sitting on a tricycle thinking for the federal chairman over in Texas. But one thing I was saying before, remember the garbage index I pointed out a long time ago? Basically, I don't know, about 8 months ago, 10 months ago. It was way down, but the GDP in the United States was up. That didn't make sense. And sometimes some of the numbers that came out after the election showed that manufacturing was way down. I don't know about all this bullshit. I don't trust these numbers. I don't think things are as rosy as they say. So, hang on to your gold, silver, platinum, and palladium, but don't invest all your money in it because you never know. You need the fiat money for a while yet. And, fiat money is going to buy stuff for some years. But I bet you within the next couple of years, silver does hit triple digits by 2014 sometime. I bet you it does. And in between that time, it's probably going to hit that fib point of 70-something. So just wait and bide your time. Bide your time. Now, this is the assistant of the girl with the cowboy hat riding a tricycle. This is the assistant of the Federal Reserve Chairman of the state of Texas. Now, yeah, for real, man. Not kidding. Sure. Anyway, now, I'm going to say this. With all the problems we got coming up with the dollar and stuff, like is the dollar backed by anything? The dollar's backed by air. It's nothing but paper and all this kind of stuff. Now, actually, paper could actually work if it was carefully managed. The problem is that, the temptation is there just to print more to deal with the problem. That's really why it never really works, because there's nothing. There's no discipline. There's no way to force the discipline. The gold kind of forces the discipline. Maybe it's not perfect, but there's disadvantages to that because the money supply isn't flexible. But then again, the paper, it actually could work. It could work, provided you had 100% honest money managers that were not going to inflate it away. But it just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. It's like you're going to trust somebody else with your money, basically. That's what it's doing. You're basically, with the paper stuff, you're trusting somebody else to manage the worth of your money. And they're screwed there. But in the future, what I suggest to Ben Bernanke, let's just make the dollar backed by bottles of beer. 99 bottles of beer on the wall. We got 99 bottles of beer, and that's $1. We'd have the new super dollar out there. Instead of oil, let's back it by bottled beer. And maybe that would be the investment instead of silver, right? I mean, really. As long as it's something that you can't produce that fast. And you know what? I think bottles of beer would be just as good as anything, to tell you the truth. It's like you can't produce them that fast and you can grow them. We can have all these home breweries. You can make your own money and you can pay your own taxes, right? I mean, I was coming up with hemp, but what the hell? Why not use bottled beer, right? Bottled beer isn't a bad idea. You can make all these different types and stuff, healthy stuff, low-calorie stuff, sports bottled beer and stuff. And, I don't know about this stuff with these finance guys. These guys are a bunch of bullshit. We really got to have a solid economy. It doesn't have to be based upon gold. We can have a flexible monetary supply based upon bottled beer. They would add more bottled beer to the economy, which could be back then they can issue more dollars, right? Same way. I mean, it wouldn't be as inflexible as mining, right? Mining, you have to open up a mine, right? It takes 10 years or something with all the environmental studies, impact studies, geological studies, and taxes and stuff like that, getting all the equipment online and all this other shit, right? So sometimes, the money supply needs to expand faster than what gold can do. So let's back the dollar with bottled beer. I mean, that's better than oil. I think bottled beer would number one, So we can have, maybe a new unit of measure, a liter, quart, a fifth, a pint, I don't know, whatever, That's my idea to Ben Bernanke. And, maybe the Federal Reserve Chairman could have share a bottle of beer with his assistant here to think it over. Because, as you're drinking this stuff, it's going to make a lot more sense. This idea is actually a solid idea. Beer actually is something that's tangible, it's useful, it's essential, it's been around for centuries. When it really comes down to it, most people, a lot of people, maybe not me because I'm not somebody who drinks, but most people, like, they look at a silver dollar and a case of beer, they'll take the case of beer even though the silver is probably worth more dollars. As for immediate concern, So, and it's consumable. It has calories, and you can grow this stuff one way or the other. So, I think that might be the way to solve the monetary crisis, and you have a flexible money supply. So I'm going to put that idea out to Ben Bernanke. Ben, have a beer, have a beer. Don't worry about silver prices. Let's just invest in beer, bottles of beer, and the U.S. dollar will be backed by beer. So that'll be the new thing. Umbriago, Ben. Umbriago. Umbriago means drunkard in Italian. So let's drink up. And you over there in Texas with your assistant, have a beer, ride around on a tricycle. And all the problems in the economy are solved. No more paper, bottled beer.